Hey everybody, Modern Native here. So I'm sitting at the bushcraft camp, and there's a segment I wanted to do on here. I wanted to call it Wild Rants. And that's pretty much one of those grind my gears, what pisses me off, one of those segments. Just talking to you guys about things that I feel you might be able to relate to. One of the biggest things. Oh, it really gets to me. It's being left on red. Now, it's where you send someone a message on a social media platform or through a text or a phone call or through a phone. Messages where it'll say sent, delivered, read, and you can see when they read it and everything like that. To me, if you see you have a message from someone and you have clicked it, you are entering a conversation. To me, I don't want to say there's an obligation, but there's a certain etiquette to where not answering, even just a simple, can't talk right now, talk to you later, and texting and messaging, even though it's instant messaging, it's not one of those things you have to feel obligated to answer to immediately. So just because you're starting a conversation doesn't mean that you are trapped in it, unless it's a time-sensitive situation. So it's not like you have to be stuck in that conversation where you're starting it and you have to be on your phone the whole constant time. No. Hey, how you doing? And then close your phone, wait for the response. 10, 20 minutes later, when you have a minute, you remember to look at it and be like, oh, they're doing good, this, that, and the other. They ask you a question about something in your life. Shoot them a quick answer. Continue the conversation. Close your phone, keep doing what you're doing. I do it all day. I do answer just about everybody. All the time. I always am ready for a conversation. Now, people don't talk to me for some reason. I don't know. But one of the biggest things almost everybody does. There are exceptions. So, 90% of the time when I say something, the person who the one person in my friends list who this is not meant for, they're like, oh, but and I'm like, why is it the one person who actually does respond to me, actually does talk? It's the one person who feels like I'm saying something about them when I'm having one of these complaints or conversations or just thoughts. So, there are exceptions to the rule, but the vast majority of people who I conversate with, they will, or try to conversate with, who have had conversations with me, and there hasn't been a falling out, there hasn't been any reason that I'm aware of where they no longer want to talk to me, whatever that is. Sorry about the mosquito in the camera. So, vast majority of people I talk to, or try to conversate with, like I said, they will open up the conversation, and they will read what I said to them. Normally, it's hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? I like to do check-ins with people just to see how they're doing, to let them know I care and that I'm thinking about them and that I'm trying to be a friend. And even so many people, they open it up, they read it, and they close it, they don't say anything. Now, I know people get busy and stuff like that, so I'll wait a couple of days, usually, or even a week. Send them pretty much the same thing, but in a different way. If I had said, hey, how you doing? It'll be, what's up, man? Or what's up, bro? It's usually, I generally just talk to guys anyway, but, it's some form of that. So I say something different just to be like, notice that you read that and you didn't say anything. No, life is busy and stuff like that, but still trying to check in with you because there is other stuff I want to follow up with you. So then so many of them will read that. Normally by the time I hit the third time I've sent them a message and I get left on read, it really makes me sad, but that's when I put you in archived. That's so that way I stop looking at the fact that you have read my message and you have not said anything. So I take the hint. You no longer want to talk to me. Awesome. Thanks. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry. It sucks, I'm trying. I'm putting a lot of effort into trying to have a friendship with people. And I'm a good person. I try to be. Do you realize that when you leave someone on red like that in a conversation, when you open up the conversation and they can see that you read their message, do you realize that it's like having someone walk up to you and you look them in the face when they speak to you? And you look away and don't answer. That's what it is. Or worse. Someone walks up, asks you how you're doing, you look at them, and walk away. Or if you think about it with Facebook Messenger, you grab the bubble and you swipe it away. It's like having someone walk up to you and you're just, nah. That's rude. Like, it's fuck. It's rude. Would you do that to someone face to face? Would you do that to someone in their face? People become a different person when they have that safety net of no one is seeing me do this. The person I'm doing this to is not around. They can't do anything to me. They can't say anything immediately after or say something around other people to make me feel bad. Because if I try to do that, that's when people just delete and block, and they bury that because they don't want people to see that they're an asshole. Now, I'm not calling anyone an asshole directly. Some people I want to. When people close to you for 2 years tell you, or they answer you, that when it's worse, they answer you, and you get the constant, oh yeah, next time I'm up there, I'll send you a message. Oh yeah, I'll be up there in a couple of weeks, and I'll see what you're doing, and we'll plan something. Oh, after this, we'll be able to make some time. Oh, soon. I'm free after this date. We'll plan something. It's always right after that when they give you like an exact date, and then you start messaging them. That's when you get the, oh, soon. And then you start messaging them as long. That's when you start getting left on red, right after that. After soon. And you're like, hey, checking in. How you doing? If they're smart, they know. They know that you're getting around to figuring out if you're going to hang out. And that's when you get left on red. Left on red. LOR. Wish there was a Z word to replace on. Then it'd be LZR, and just, that's all you're doing, calling me a loser. That's what it feels like. Nah. Cleared out my archives I cleared out my conversations the other day because it was like, almost like everybody at the same time started doing that. So, I cleared my phone. Archived everybody who left me unread in the last couple of weeks, more than once. And like, left me unread. That's it. Still left unread. You know how many conversations I had left? Man. Well, 4, but 1 left me unread. And that's a consistent one that leaves me unread. So, 3. And one of them's my wife. She can't leave me unread. She wants what she wants from the store. So it's 2 people. It's 2 people who answer me. There's one other that will answer me if it's something important, but that's it. You mean what you say and say what you mean. I don't lie. I always tell the truth in everything. You never have to remember what you say if you've always told the truth. I've lived by that philosophy for a while now, and it helps. Especially if you have memory issues or people who like to use things against you. Cut that whole part out. So that's my rant for Left on Red. The way it transitions into say what you mean and mean what you say is if you're making plans or if you are trying to do something with someone or if you are implying or stating the intentions for the desire for something, to me that is a verbal transaction. That is a verbal agreement. Let's call it for services rendered, for the time and enjoyment of the activity that we're doing. Hiking, fishing, camping, bushcrafting, survivalism. When you tell me you have the intentions of something with me, I plan out and take the time to plan for something. That means I have allotted time of my life to you in the plans for what we're doing. When you back out, especially at the last minute, or fail to uphold your end of what we're supposed to be doing, that hinders my plans or totally cancels them because I have adjusted things to how we have planned. So that is a loss of time. That is a loss of transaction because there has been times and scenarios where I have had someone who was ready, set, let's go, to go do something. And I made plans with someone else previously that had conflicted with that scheduling. And I had to cancel or not cancel. I had to reject this stable offer to go and do something because I had this planned with the you of the scenario. So then, when it comes to pull the trigger, and you back out, you leave me on red, you are incommunicado and AWOL, whatever you want to call it, you are no longer reachable, that leaves me, feeling like an asshole because I missed out on the opportunity that had presented itself when you were just going to back out anyway. B, I have now wasted more time of my life on someone who was not going to be pulling the trigger, who couldn't fulfill their word, and, all that. And also, there's been times where the person who offered the conflicting event, the guaranteed person, not saying that they wouldn't have been okay without me, but something happened and they would have been better off with a friend. They would have been better off with someone there to help them. It would have been easier, more convenient. They would have been doing that with a partner, and they wouldn't have been doing it more as dangerously as they were and hurt themselves. Or somebody could have spotted that for them and called out that they were realizing that there was an issue there, that they could have got hurt. Or, any other 100 scenarios where my presence being with them could have helped. And now you have caused a double effect, as not only have you taken time from me and affected my life, but you have also inadvertently caused an issue with someone else's enjoyment of the outdoor woods because I wasn't able to go with them and enjoy time with them, and they weren't able to enjoy it as much or maybe, as safely because of whatever. So many people are going out there without the knowledge, it's ridiculous. But be prepared. So, you not saying what you mean, say what you mean and mean what you say. Because there is a cause and effect. There is a loss. There is there's an effect. There is and then for permanently, forever, you will be looked at as that person who cannot be trusted. Oh, I'm going to hang out with so-and-so this weekend. Well, if something comes up, I may just do it because I'll just bail on them like they did to me because, they're probably just going to bail anyway. You start becoming that person, that unreliable person that no one wants to hang out with. And you don't want to be that person. So when it comes down to it, and you are making plans with someone, you have the intentions of doing something, stick to your word. Follow through. Commit to it. Because the number of adventures and memories and enjoyments that you will get out of actually going through with it, no matter what it is. There's gonna be fun. It's the outdoor woods. There's gonna be a memory. There's gonna be an adventure. You're gonna see something, hear something all around you. You're gonna be walking around and see a rock, see a cool thing on the bark. There's a piece of log that's dry and sticking out of the ground that I'm gonna cut off. It looks awesome because I don't even know yet, but it's got an awesome curve to it, and I'm gonna make it into something. I'm seeing some sort of ladle or kitchen utensil out of it. I don't know. It looks cool, so it looks awesome. And it's just little things like that. Look around. Get out there and do it. Commit to your word of going out there and doing it. And the more you do it, the more you'll get out there, the more you'll want to be out there. Get off your freaking phone. Get your head out of your phone when you're out in the woods. The only reason I pull my phone out is to film this. And I'm still enjoying it. I'm barely even looking at you guys except for when I'm talking. And right now it's only because I'm taking a break. Otherwise, I'm just enjoying this. This is a long stint because I want to get this out. I want to get into it because it's something that's been bothering me. When you're out in the woods, it should be a no devices thing. Unless you are going somewhere with a GPS to go. Like, obviously bring a GPS for safety. I'm not saying don't bring your phones, don't bring GPS, don't be safe with devices if you want to do that. But don't have your social media phone out. Don't be playing games on your freaking phone. Don't be chatting with, some dumbass that isn't in the woods right now who's just having drama. Put your phone on silent, turn it off, whatever. Put it away. You're in nature. Be in nature and enjoy it. If you're taking pictures, taking video, cool. Other than that, put it away. Get off your phones, get off your devices. This is nature. It's what you're supposed to be doing. Don't be fishing and on your phone and have to be told to check your line by the person you're with, because it's ridiculous. Don't be hanging around the fire and be so wrapped up in your phone that you're hanging out by the fire. And people do this. When you're hanging out by the fire, you're staring at the fire and someone's right next to you, and you just start talking to them because they're next to you by the fire and there's nothing else going on, so your voice should snap their attention. So you just start talking to them, and you're a couple sentences in and you realize that there's been no movement at all out of the corner of your eye, and you just look up and realize that they are throat deep in their phone, playing around, doing stuff, and you've been out in the woods or out by the fire and enjoying stuff, and you can't be off your phone for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. Like, if I do a group camp thing, there's going to be a collection when we're at camp. No phones. All phones are sitting in the basket. Also, we're thinking about doing something with the group camp thing. Distance resocializing. Where we help people reacclimate to getting out and socializing with people. And maybe it's people who still have health issues, who are still at risk, people who don't believe in vaccinations but still want to get out there and enjoy, people who are just paranoid because, this has been stressful. This has been a long, stressful issue this whole time. So to get back out there and get used to socializing again and help you reacclimate to having people around, we want to do a distance resocializing where we all hang out around a big campfire. We have seats spread out, the 4 to 6 feet, the nice comfortable zone. We're outside. We don't have to be too paranoid, and we're by the fire, so that's sure enough killing a lot of germs. There's not a lot of cross air issue. So we can all be comfortable and feel safer and be able to talk and maybe do some conversation exercises where we go around and try to keep a conversation going with, um, I don't know, we'll think of different games or different things to help people socialize to where there's not going to be just pockets of conversation where there's going to be the quiet person out as the odd man out, or people feel shy or set to the side or whatever. Everybody will be able to participate. Everybody will be able to conversate, and that'll be the point of it, to get everybody used to doing it again. You know, yeah, being on social media is one thing, but talking to people face to face, people were having a hard enough time doing that in the first place before we've been freaking quarantined for over a year. Like, this has been ridiculous. And I've watched people, they can't, they don't socialize right anymore. the, I barely ever see a person with a hand free. Somebody always has a device in their hand. Always. They always have. Daddy, get off the lens. They always. They always have a phone in their hand. They always have to have a device. They can't be unplugged. They can't hold a face-to-face conversation with you and actually be involved in it. So, let me connect two dots here. Let me let me connect two dots here. The way say what you mean and mean what you say transitioned into get off your freaking phones was when people are on their phones, when people are on social media, they feel like they can say anything, that it doesn't matter because, whatever, there's no consequences, there's no commitment. But when you say something to someone's face, there's commitment, there's consequence, there's, an actual impact that you have to deal with. So when you're on your phone, you don't feel like you have that. But there is still an effect on the other side. People are still hurt. People are still affected. Time is still lost. So start having face-to-face conversations. Start having face-to-face commitments. Start having those interactions. You will be healthier. You will be better. Life will be better. You'll build better friendships. You will know better people. There will be enjoyment in your life like you have never known before if you actually open yourself to that opportunity by making a commitment, getting out there, and sticking to your word and doing things. And then once you're out there doing things, get off your phone and enjoy it. It is fun to be out here. It is fun to do things. It is fun to get to know the person that you're with. It is fun to get to know new people. It is fun to run into people on the trails and meet them too. It is fun. I've made friends just, oh, hey, where are you coming from? Where are you going? Oh, you're going up there? Well, I've camped down here and I've camped up there. You should try this spot. It's a good spot. And then you guys get to hang out while you're camping and you make friends. I've done it. It's awesome. It's a great community out there. It's like a hidden community in the woods that rotates. Anyway, get out there, enjoy the woods, get out in the wild, be a native, and go beast. I'm gonna have to cut that. Okay. So that concludes. So again, I am the Modern Native, and that concludes Wild Rants in the Woods. Left on red. Say what you mean what you say. Get off your freaking phones and get out there. Get out there, enjoy the wild, be a native, and go beast.